Welcome back to Fog of Work. You and I, we're in this together. We live through the same struggles, face the same exhausting routines, and feel the same frustration when we see how corporations manipulate and control our lives. Work has become more than just a job. It consumes our time, our energy, and our health. But it doesn't have to be this way. Today, let's talk about the future of work, not from the perspective of boardrooms and corporate executives, but from our perspective. What will happen to us? Will we be forced back into the office 5 days a week, trapped in long commutes and pointless meetings? Will hybrid work last, or is it just a temporary distraction before companies take full control again? And what about remote work? Do we even have a chance of keeping it? I want to have this discussion with you because this is about our lives, our well-being, and our future. I want to start with the most likely option, going back to the office 5 days a week. Let's be real, corporations want you back in the office because they want control. They miss the days when they could watch over your shoulder, make you sit through endless meetings, and justify their expensive office buildings. They don't care that forcing you into a rigid, outdated system is hurting you. If companies force you back into the office full-time, your mental and physical health will take a hit. The stress of long commutes will eat into your time, leaving you exhausted before your workday even begins. Sitting in traffic or dealing with crowded public transport every morning and evening will drain you both, physically and emotionally. Office environments themselves aren't exactly stress-free either. You'll have to deal with distractions, office politics, and the general pressure of being watched constantly. Over time, the burnout will feel inevitable. Financially, you'll be spending more than necessary. Gas, transit fares, overpriced office lunches, and new office attire, it all adds up fast. The money you save by working remotely or on a hybrid model will be gone, and suddenly you'll find yourself working just to afford to go to work. Most importantly, your work-life balance will be completely wrecked. The flexibility that let you take short breaks, manage household tasks, or even just be present for your family will disappear. Instead, you'll be trapped in an endless cycle of working, commuting, and recovering from the stress of it all, only to repeat it the next day. This isn't a matter of if anymore. It's already happening. More and more companies are mandating a full return, and they are not showing signs of stopping. Whether you like it or not, you'll probably be feeling the full impact of this shift within the next 1 to 3 years. The other possible scenario is hybrid work becoming a permanent solution. Hybrid work feels like a compromise, right? Little freedom, little control, but let's not kid ourselves. Corporations are allowing it now because they fear mass resignations. But how long will that last? The moment they think they can get away with eliminating it, they will. With hybrid work, your life is stuck in uncertainty. One day your employer supports remote flexibility, and the next they're rolling out stricter office policies. You'll constantly wonder if your current arrangement is safe or if you will wake up one morning to an email demanding more in-office days. Even though you spend fewer days commuting, the mandatory in-office days still drain your time and energy. You have to adjust between two different work environments, one where you feel comfortable and productive, and another where distractions and rigid office culture slow you down. On top of that, hybrid work often means you don't get to truly settle into a routine. Instead, you are juggling different expectations based on the day of the week. And here's the trick. Hybrid work weakens your ability to push back. Companies will say, see, we're giving you flexibility, but in reality, it's just a way to make you more compliant while they slowly tighten control again. It's like a leash that still lets you move, but only so far. Hybrid work might still be here for now, but don't count on it lasting forever. Companies are already rolling back flexibility, and if trends continue, we might only have 2 to 4 more years before hybrid work is phased out completely. What about fully remote work? Let's not sugarcoat it. This is the dream. Full control over your work environment, no wasted time on commuting, more time with your family, more energy for yourself. But let's also be honest, the corporations don't want this to happen. If remote work were the norm, they would lose power over you, and that's something they won't allow. Imagine waking up and starting your workday without the stress of getting dressed for the office, rushing out the door, or fighting through traffic. Instead, you'd have the freedom to set up your workspace in a way that suits you best. You'd be able to take breaks when you need them, focus without distractions, and spend the time you would have wasted commuting on things that actually matter: your health, your family, and your hobbies. Financially, fully remote work is a game changer. No commuting costs, no office lunches, No pointless spending on work clothes. Your paycheck actually goes towards your life, not just the privilege of being present in an office. And then there's the biggest benefit, your mental and physical well-being. No more office politics, no more micromanagement, no more unnecessary stress. You would finally have the ability to build a life where work fits around you, not the other way around. As much as we'd love for this to happen, the truth is, it's highly unlikely. Companies are actively making sure remote work remains the exception, not the rule. Over the next 3 to 5 years, expect to see fewer and fewer fully remote job opportunities. We need to face reality. Corporations are not in this for us. They are not making decisions with our well-being in mind. Their priorities are profit, control, and keeping us dependent on them. So what does that mean for us? Where is this all heading? Let's break it down. A full return to the office is practically written in stone. If companies think they can force you back into the building, they will. They don't care how much time you waste in traffic or how exhausted you are by the time you get home. For them, you being in the office means they can control your time, watch over your shoulder, and justify their expensive real estate. If you're hoping this wave of return to the office mandates will fade, don't. In the next 1 to 3 years, expect to see more and more companies pushing for full office attendance. Hybrid work might seem like a middle ground, but it's unstable. It exists right now only because companies are afraid of losing employees. But as soon as they think they have the upper hand, they will take it away. Maybe not all at once, but gradually, one new policy, one new rule, until suddenly you are back in the office 5 days a week. If you're lucky, hybrid work will survive for another 2 to 4 years, but beyond that, the future looks grim. And fully remote work? Let's be real, we want it. We know it works. But corporations will do everything in their power to make sure it remains rare. They don't want people realizing they can be just as productive, if not more, without corporate watchful eyes hovering over them. The number of fully remote jobs is already shrinking, and over the next 3 to 5 years, it will only become harder to find companies willing to allow it. So where does that leave us? We either accept these changes and let corporations dictate our lives, or we push back. We demand flexibility. We refuse to comply with unnecessary control tactics. We make it clear that we are not willing to give up the freedom we gained over the last few years without a fight. If we don't, we'll wake up one day and realize that the future of work has been decided for us, and not in our favor. This is the reality we are facing. Companies are tightening their grip, and they will keep pushing until we either submit or fight back. I'm not here to just give you information. I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. I feel the same frustration. I see the same injustice. We are all caught in a system that values profits over people, control over well-being. But we don't have to just accept it. We can push back, we can demand better, we can refuse to let them control every aspect of our lives. The more we talk about it, the more we expose their tactics, and the stronger we become. Stay aware, stay prepared, keep questioning the system. And most importantly, don't let them convince you that this is the only way life has to be. If this message resonates with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future discussions on workplace realities. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Have you been affected by these corporate changes? What are you seeing in your workplace? Let's keep this conversation going and build a community that stands together against these injustices.